Page 75, Musette. This, they say, is a study in dynamics. I think it's a study in fingering, too, in the right hand. Look at all those eighth notes. Let's talk about the right hand for just a bit. You're starting out up here. Now, this is in the key of G major, right? So you got one sharp, F. All the Fs are sharped. So we're up here in G position. You're here. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And be sure and get the... If you can do the 1 and 2, and the eighth note shouldn't be a problem on the rhythm, I'm hoping. But in the second line, last two measures. Down here, the 1 and 2, and see the staccatos? Finger staccato. Now you have an accent on the half note, so give it a little extra oomph, all right? And there's a crescendo, so you're gradually getting a little louder. And the idea is music wants to feel like it's moving someplace. It's doing something. It's got motion in it. And this is one of the things that does that. You have a crescendo as you're going up. That's handy. But the idea is that half note D is where you're headed. That's the destination. So those two measures go up there, the last two, all for that D. And that D is it, all right? And that's what you're after there. You get this kind of thing a lot in music. So if you can think about how the music is flowing and how it's moving, it really helps to make it more musical. Otherwise, you're just playing a bunch of notes, all right? Yeah. Now, just well have a computer do it for you if you're going to do that. Let's take a look at the third line with all those eighth notes. And I do recommend their fingering. It's a good one. Makes you work your third, fourth, and fifth fingers more, right? That's what you need to do. So right off the bat, we're on fifth finger, 4, 5. Then bring the thumb down for the G. Now, I recommend as you do this, don't hold the wrist still and try and do it with fingers only. Ugh. Roll it. Transfer your weight from finger to finger. So the fingers are doing very little, all right? You're just transferring. I have the weight on the little finger. And I'm transferring it to the fourth finger. I have the weight. I'm transferring the weight. I'm rolling it over. I'll lift up the fifth finger so it doesn't play anymore, right? And then I go back to the fifth. See, I'm just rolling here. And you can roll from finger to finger. I exaggerate that. In the actual thing, the rolling is very little. The idea is you can play fairly quickly with very little finger work. I mean, you're not stressing the fingers at all. It's just, really, you're just transferring that. That's the trick. Transfer the weight. It's called a weight transfer. Oh, I guess it makes sense. Even in the next measure where you're going up, I'm still transferring the weight. I'm just rolling it up. And then when the thumb has to come under, I'm transferring it to the thumb again, except the thumb isn't here, it's here. So, boom, 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 boom. It will help in this piece, as it would in most pieces, if you will make sure you can feel the natural accents. If you can feel the accents, you'll play them. Don't play them intentionally, you got to feel it. So in a common time, you have a 1, the first beat of the measure is always the strongest natural accent. So you want to feel that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So in here, if I exaggerate it, it's here. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm exaggerating, I'm making it happen. I want to feel that 1, 2. Now there's another accent on the third beat. So it's like every other one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And try and feel it as you're playing. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. don't force them. You feel them, but they will make a lot more sense than when you're playing passages with a lot of eighth notes in them. On third line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It just really helps the music out. So if I play the third line and try and feel the accents, I get this. And it really adds a lot to the music if you can feel those natural accents. Never lose sight of them. When you get bogged down in what the notes are and the rhythms and all that, it's kind of hard to remember natural accents. So you got to learn the notes and the rhythms well enough so you can come back out of that, above it, so to speak, and think about these other things. And it adds a lot more to the music. All right? So it just learning the notes and the rhythms and the fingering and the pedaling. It's turning it into music. Feel it. Now, it is lively and it is quick as I just played it, but we're not going to go that fast. We're going to go slow because all I'm interested in this video is that you get the right notes and the right rhythms. You can do the lively and add the dynamics and all that on your own, all right? And here it is a study in dynamics, so make sure you are doing that. You start out loud, and that applies to the melody, right? So this, you have to decide how loud is, all right? But you do that. Now, when you get to the second line on the last two measures and you have that crescendo, you don't start the crescendo loud. Come down and then go back up to loud. All right, so if I do like the last four measures in the second line, I'm loud. But when I start that next to the last measure, I'm starting kind of a medium soft, actually. So I got plenty of room to get loud again. I want to go back up to loud. Then I'm staying loud in the third line until the second measure I come down a little bit. So the third line is, so I just come down a little bit so the third measure I'm starting a little softer and getting loud again up to the D. Now this time the D, the half note D is not accented. Doesn't matter, it's still where you're headed. You're just not going to play it with the extra oomph you'd get. And then I'm loud again. Fourth line, second measure, now I come down to medium soft. Last measure of the fourth line, now I'm soft. And then in the last line, I'm getting softer. It's a diminuendo. Now, there's not a lot of difference between soft and very soft. At the last measure, it's pianissimo, the two-piece, that's very soft. Well, I'm already soft. I'm not going to get much softer. So I don't want to increase it so I can continue to get soft because that ruins the overall dying away. So I'm probably going to get softer than very soft. I'm going to get just as soft as I can at the very end. So you'll have to experiment with it to see just how soft you can get. The last note in the piece, that whole note, I'm going to hold for 8 counts because of the fermata. Just going to let the sound die away. In the last chord, there at the very bottom, that chord, the G, the top note, is the melody. Bring out the G. I want to hear the G above everything else. Right? Anyway, let's try this out and see what happens together, slowly. So go ahead and put your right hand here. Left hand here, of course there's no pedal. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, off.